Now, to classify myself as a guy who was skeptical of this game would be an understatement. I fully admit that Crayta is a game that had given me many doubts since when I first heard of its inceptions for many reasons. But I have to say there's something going on with this game while I still hold a lot of those reservations, and I'll explain those towards the end. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into everything this game's doing. We're going to show some gameplay in this video, and you'll even see me fumbling around trying to create. But before we start the rest of this video, please subscribe to the channel for more Stadia coverage, as well as the inevitable Crayta community live streams in the coming weeks and months. But let's talk about what this title is about. And well, I'll put it as simple as I can. It's about a game where you create and you enjoy the games created. From the get-go in the lobby, I was impressed. You get a layout of pre-made games that have already been made, and you can watch them in action. But what I liked about all these games that were pre-made already is that they give you a sense and idea of what you yourself can make. And let's talk about those games already in Crayta. For those wondering what to expect right away, if you're like me and you just want to play or get an idea of what potential there is to create, there is surprisingly a lot of fun happening here. Now, we have games that range from cooking and have an overcooked vibe, which I did really enjoy. You're not getting the full overcooked fun and gameplay, but you're getting something really similar and something that you can enjoy with others. Then you have a game where there's full-on sprint races with tons of obstacles and timed checkpoints. Then there's one that literally copies Rainbow Six Siege, where you have one team that storms, the other that defends, and you can blow up walls. It's crazy. There's even a minigame where you can farm and sell to vendors and enjoy a more low-key experience. At this point, you can see the endless options of games that you can create, and really you're just scratching the surface. And I'll come back and talk more about those games in a bit. But what I do want to talk about is the actual creation of games. Now, I'm not a person with any imagination whatsoever. Creating a world or adventure or a game is something that just doesn't have my interest, but I thought to myself, can Crayta make it easy enough for someone even like me to really start diving into this portion of the game and maybe even enjoy it? Now, I only did a few basic things. I was able to easily lay out the environments with the tools given. The tools are really easy to navigate and understand. You do have an advanced mode for those who really know how to code and do some wild and fun things, but you have an easier route if you're new like me, where you can just simply choose from a pre-made template, create what type of game you're wanting. Do you want to create a futuristic adventure game where you farm and have shops, or you capture the flag game with fire and obstacles? I mean, it's limitless. You can even have a blank canvas and do whatever you want. You're only really hindered by your imagination. The beauty here, as a novice like myself, it's as simple as dropping an item. You plop it down with a simple press of the button, and you really start creating what your mind can think of. Now, I didn't get the time to make anything truly myself, but I was able to join in on a fellow creator from the Cloud Gaming Extreme channel, where he made a whole game based on shooting targets. And in his quirky game, he placed mines and obstacles everywhere. I died constantly. I shot down targets, and we went off a score, all the while shooting each other to death. Now, I really enjoyed playing his game, but what I found really unique and excellent was after the game was done, I was able to rate his game, give my feedback, and with this information, you will be able to discern which games you enjoy and what others might end up being recommended, or which to even avoid altogether. Now, there is a whole plan here for those who really want to dig deep into creating their own game, and if you're good at it, you'll get rewarded monetarily. For those games with the most unique plays and total time spent in a created game, you can get as much as $5,000 a month. And if I'm reading this correctly, if you're one of the top games, it goes all the way to the top 8. There is a lot of incentive in this game to create, not just because you enjoy it, but you can even get paid to do so if you're imaginative enough. The game is also featuring a Black Creators Prize Fund and mentoring program that will reward $10,000 in July and $2,000 a month for the rest of 2020. With all that said, by now, if you had any inkling at all to create in this game, I think creating something fun within the Crayta world can be a boon for someone, and I'm personally excited to see what everyone comes up with. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so I can showcase your guys' creations when I do live streams, as well as on YouTube and Twitch. But alright, I covered the creation port of this game, and it's important obviously, but for the rest of us plebs with only time to game and not create, will we actually get enjoyment out of this game and playing other people's minigames? My answer to that is absolutely. The game is just fun. Playing multiplayer Overcooked was really and truly an absolute blast. It was chaotic, it was fast paced, running through the races even on my own was entertaining, and I could only imagine playing in a full lobby. There is some games that can have up to 20 players at once, and mixed with the ability to implement state share, you can invite your friends really easily straight to your lobby. This is also a boon for content creators, in which I could easily create a link for 20 of you guys to jump in with me online. Crayta outside of creation reminds me more of like an adult Mario Party, in that we have so many choices of multiplayer games to jump into. We can go from playing hide and seek, a game in which we run from zombies, or we can run a farm together and have a more relaxed adventure. Death matches with guns galore are also present in this game. It really can be endless, especially when you factor the games other people will be creating. I counted a total of 11 pre-made games, all of which are pretty different and unique, and even some having some mechanics that I've never seen before. With that said though, under the covers the UI for this game is brilliant as well. It will show you which games are most popular, you can favorite which games you enjoy the most, it will even show you which games are active with players in it, so you can join where people are, and not blindly hope that you find a random game somewhere with someone. There's also a store to customize your character. You are rewarded for playing games and getting experience every time you group up and you engage with others. Honestly, it's all really well done, and I'm glad that there's incentive, even if it's just the ability to just deck out how cool your avatar looks. But overall though, I do have some negatives to point out as well as some positives. There was quite a few bugs and glitches that will have to get hashed out. The game stuttered, slowed down at some points, and I did get booted off the game in my playthrough. Going back though, I do have reservations about what this game will do down the line with the community. Will it rally and stay on and keep this title active? This is a pure community-driven based game on a platform that is just not big yet, and it has a lot of issues keeping games populated. That is just a fact. When more titles release in 2020, will there be enough of a player base to really continue making this game what it can potentially be down the line? These are legitimate concerns that are really not helped by the price tag if you're not a pro member, with the game being at $39.99. This is a game that needs a lower entry. I'd even go as far as free as the player base if it really starts to dwindle, and maybe it can offer some low price cosmetic packs down the line for entry. With that said, the positives do outweigh the negatives, and I was simply surprised at how well this game did in one simple area. That was just be fun. I haven't even showcased the tip of the iceberg in regards to what it offers when you enjoy it with other fellow Stadians at the same time. This is a game I can always see myself go back to, just to see what the creations have come. A game I can see myself coming back to just for even community-based get-togethers. Now, I never really got to play or even know what the heck Roblox was. This was my introduction into that type of game. So for me, I would actually classify this more of an adult Roblox, and I'd implore you guys to give the game a shot like I have, and maybe even be blown away. Crayta will remain in my eyes so far the best first on Stadia title in 2020, and I hope you guys really appreciate what it has to offer in both gameplay and creation. With that said, be sure to follow this channel for those Crayta based live streams where we will show off your guys' creations and play alongside each other. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Sunny, and I'll see you guys in the clouds.